was the big fella who caught it and took it in. Nice bit of work by the blindside flanker, so important for him to make the catch. And Gregor Townsend steers Scotland up to a great ovation. Steers them up to their own 10 metres line. The lights are on here at Murrayfield. It's darkish, but the weather has stayed pretty good. And there's no reason why we shouldn't have some really good, exciting rugby. There's the wonderful scene here, with the floodlights on all round the pitch. I notice New Zealand have Greg Somerville, the tight head, prop right at the back, and Scotland have won a New Zealand ball, and a good bit of tidying up there by Andrew Moore for the Scots. Moore, of course, born in Sydney, but with a grandmother who came from Glasgow. And Townsend from inside the 22. A big hoof, and he's found a good touch again. So Gregor Townsend has started the second half well. He can be a wee bit hit or miss with his punch, but those two have been good.
As I said, I just think that you know, he's a very confident player, and he just reacts on his confidence up to today. Because he's not goal kicking, he hasn't got to worry about that.
Grimes did wonderfully well for Scotland there again to get 2 fingers to it. Good effort by, I think it was Jonathan Steele who took it. Now it's Townsend once again picking his spot, but McDonald was beautifully positioned. He anticipated that, and he can scoot this fella. Wonderful tackle there on Howlett inside New Zealand territory. Scots look to have won a useful ball there. Nicol has a look, little chip kick, and it was actually meant for his left wing to take on Chris Patterson. There was a bit of understanding there between the scrum half and his left wing. Eventually it was Gordon Bullock who got thumped into touch, but a nice bit of work there with Nicol popping the ball up in the air and Patterson up very quickly after it.
Yeah, lovely chip. Saw that Howlett was out of position. I think Bullock knew that they had been awarded a penalty, just hugged the touchline. Oh, it's a poor kick. You're just saying McGregor, he's just put a punt in, it's gone dead. So now the advantage has just gone to New Zealand, and a scrum for them instead of an attacking line-out. So hopefully that won't, you know, kill the momentum that Scotland have had in the second half, because they've stolen 2 line-outs and they've had 1 turnover already.
One great thing about Gregor Townsend is he takes the good and the difficult in the same spirit. It's the number 12 man Major who took it first of all, and then fed on from Umanga. That's on to the forwards. That was Thorne who took it a bit further. This is on the New Zealand 10 metres line. Robinson telling his forwards what he wants, and he's got it. The ball. There's Mertens off his left foot.
7 offside. 7.
Scots Andrew Moore caught offside apparently. There he is, the big fella, as I say, born in Sydney. But his first cap against the Tongans just recently. This for Newcastle, won the cup last season. There's the penalties conceded. And so Mertens goes for the kick to touch, and he's done it very well. And kinds of options at the line out on Scotland's 22. There's Pat Lamb on the right there, who coaches Scotland's forwards.
Alan Tate, the coach, defensive coach, he'll be happy with that so far.
Very well taken at the back by the All Blacks. Longu couldn't hold it firstly. Major was the fellow who took it up to the 22. See the forwards thumping in there, and there was a real chance for the Scots to clear it, but the referee decides it went forward.
Look, they're bringing Lomu into centre field now, and Howlett, Umanga's out there on the isn't precise.
That's a Scotland's 22. Here the turnovers one, would you believe it? Scotland 5-1. Along Major, Umanga. Very good attempted tackle by Townsend. That was what stopped the big fella. Oliver took it further. Robinson, a lovely switch by him to Mertens. Mertens again off his left foot. There's a real chase on here. Nicol is back there for the Scots. And Nicol was robbed. And, well, there there was all kinds of desperation there for the Scots, because there was a real chance for the Blacks to have scored the first try of the match, but it may be coming now. Thumping on there by Scott Robertson, the number 8 forward. Robinson, once again, Lomu is going, but Lomu just short. Black jerseys trying to power over. A real chance here as McDonald feeds out. The captain has got there, Anton Oliver. He was over the line, but the ball was held up. A brilliant bit of play by the Scots, because it looked as if a try was on for the New Zealand captain. It'll be worth seeing that again.
Great defence. Patterson gets hold of him. He steps out. Look at Laney. He goes in. He's held him up. Look at the power there. He's just holding and just turns him over on his back. But the damage was done by Lomu. A couple of phases before that, just got over there. But I felt there was a little knock on there somewhere. The referee missed it.
Certainly you have to hand it there to Patterson and Laney. They were the two who managed to keep the ball from the floor. Great roars all round the ground here to encourage the Scots, because everybody here knows, with New Zealand leading 9 points to 6, that this is a desperate situation for the Scots. Flags waving, great roars of encouragement. Robinson waits for delivery, and the referee decided that Nicol played it fair, and he was the one who saved it. Still ball for New Zealand. The pick up and the feed, or the dummy feed.
Offside, boys.
Referee was waiting for advantage. He's given a penalty to New Zealand. Matty Stewart was in on that. Tom Smith as well.
Captain, please. Captain. There are many penalties against you.
No, then explaining there to Andrew Moore exactly what was wrong. It's certainly a penalty to New Zealand, and I think they're going to decide to ask Andrew Mertens to kick for goal. Now then, let's hand down to Graham Thomas, still down at trackside.
Well, looks likely, Bill, as if Scotland just about to make a couple of substitutions. Simon Taylor, the back row forwards, about to come on. Tactical switch there in the back row. And also George Graham, the prop, has stripped off, and he's coming on any moment also.
Meanwhile, all eyes on Andrew Mertens. It's the slightly difficult side for him, if there is such a thing. Andrew Mertens, who scored 800 points for New Zealand in tests. This is 54th international match. Good lot of roaring round the ground. But he's an old stager at this, and there gives you an example why. A quite magnificent goal, despite all the shouting. 12 points to 6, New Zealand lead. They've played 8 minutes of the second half, and that's a crucial goal by Andrew Mertens.
I just think that's the respect that New Zealand have for the Scottish performance today. Defence has been very, very good.
Couple of changes in the Scottish setup. Simon Taylor has come on. He'll be wearing number 19, and he's taking over from Gordon Simpson. And George Graham has come on, and he's taken over from Matty Stewart. So there's George Graham, who, well, he's a rumbustious character out of Stirling County and Newcastle. His 20th international, and right away the Scots putting pressure on Mertens. Mertens there, who's very quick as well, but a wonderful playmaker and a wonderful organiser. Conditions still absolutely first class for rugby. There's a slice kick. Has it gone out in the full? In fact, it has. Would you believe? I don't know how I did it, said Andrew Mertens. And in fact, neither do any of us, because he's usually so secure.
Yeah, reactions, you know, that says it all, doesn't it? Look at him. He's put his side under pressure, and he just went for the quick, long dropout. Unfortunately, just sliced it into touch.
Now, Jonathan, be honest, have you done that before?
Yes, Bill.
Thank you.
There we are, more than once.
No way. This scrimmage right in front of the New Zealand post on the 22. There it is. All kinds of options available to Scotland here, but Nicol just feeds out. Townsend back inside to Leslie. but again, the ball lost in the tackle. The ferocity of the tackle loosens the ball, and here's the counter-attack coming. Great work there by Umaga. Lomu is away. McLaren tackles him brilliantly. Interception. And I tell you, it's all helter-skelter now as Scotland come once again. Townsend switching back inside. Fed out from McLaren. Townsend still. Leslie. I tell you what, Nicol is there again. Patterson with a little jink, but black jerseys everywhere. Nicely out there from Buller. The full-back fed on. Drive there from Moore. Up to near the New Zealand 22. Townsend. Leslie. Little bit of indecision because there was a line of black players. Nicol going. And well, Scotland had any amount of possession there, but in actual territorial game, they weren't that successful.
No, I think Budge Poughty said at half-time, they need to be patient. When they've got the ball, they're in control of the game, but they need to give depth. They've got to give options to the ball carrier, and that comes through the depth which they take, which they're coming at. There's all flat. They've got no options, no second line of attack, and all of a sudden the defence just, snuffs them out.
Yes, Scotland badly need to have somebody coming onto the ball at pace and straight. There again, a lovely pass out there from Umaga. And this is, just watch the tackle by McLaren here. He went high to try and block the ball as well. It was a good effort on his part. And there's the great man himself, Jonah Lomu, who scored 38 tries for New Zealand. Equals Serge Blanco's haul for France. But third or fourth in the list of the greatest try scorers in rugby. Scots turned it, and they'll be wondering if they get the put in, but in fact they have been penalised, I think, was it, for taking it down. Driving it at the side. And that's a bit of bad luck, because the Scots had the turn on and they might have got the put in. Meanwhile, Mertens really punts so well. It's not often you see him miss touch. And there he is, issuing the instructions, passing the word along the line to let everybody knows what will be on if they win the ball. And certainly they'll expect to do so because it's their throw-in. Going to the tail. Little bit of interference, I think.
Offside.
Referee suggesting, yes, a bit of interference before the player had played the ball.
Yeah, and also they were outside the 15-metre line. So we've got a couple of penalties there.
Now then, Gregor Townsend has given Scotland a position on New Zealand's 10 metres line. Stuart Grimes comes up to number 2, and Murray is at the back. Murray took it well. Grimes smuggled it. The drive on by Buller. They've taken in Robinson, the scrum half. Nicol out. Townsend with the switch. And all the switches not just coming off. Nicol still. Townsend punting for the corner. It's awkward. Howlett. Big return by him. Here's Laney. That's pretty useful. And actually a very good effort by Steele. New Zealand 22. And again, the All Blacks have one crucial ball. And there's a big hoof into what was space. This is Laney. Himself a New Zealander from Otago. Very high punt. Like ping pong this. Now then, Leslie telling Patterson what he suggests he should do. Patterson hoists once more. Quite a lot of kicking in rugby nowadays, isn't there? There's Howlett with another one. And he's found touch. So that for the moment the ping pong is ended.
Yeah, possession kicked. I think this is all about patience. So Scotland have kicked a lot instead of building. Just when they've got the ball, just a little bit of patience and you know, look for the opening rather than kicking possession away.
Scotland's 22. Murray changed his position and did well. So did Tom Smith.
It's nice to see you know, pressure being put on the jumpers. It went a bit repetitive when you knew that you know, that they were going to lift them and they were going to win possession, whoever's line it was. And now it's nice to see that there's you know, liners going against the throw.
That was a real attempt there by Gordon Bullock to take a ball against the head. He used his right foot for that, and it shows that he's challenging on the New Zealand put-in. Greg Somerville pulled it down, but they got it back up again. Mertens, Umaga, Mertens, the fullback, McDonald was there. Taylor was the fellow who got back, Simon Taylor. And the Scots need a big hoof here. And that's what they've got. But it's still pressure from the All Blacks. Laney, who's played pretty soundly so far, despite coming into the side after some controversy.
It's very good defence. Look at the width they put on the passes, spreading the defence. Notice the angle. He comes in, just, I think that's McDonald, tries to slip the ball away, but it's good defence by McLaren. Just watched his man cover him across.
Nicol did brilliantly there as well to shield the ball and then to get his kick away, because the bodies were hovering over the top of the back of the scrummage. That was really brilliant work by the Scottish scrum half. There he is, out of Dundee High School FP initially.
I think they've kept Lomu quiet up to this point, but I'm sure that the All Blacks will now try and utilise him and drag defenders in, because even when he doesn't break through, you know, you attract so many defenders, and then there's you know, men spare somewhere.
Brief stoppage for a bit of attention there. You notice the big All Black forward, number 4, Chris Jack, the biggest of the lot. He's 6'7", and there's some very big guys. There's Laney, who will be pretty happy with his performance in his first cap. Gregor Townsend having a word with his fullback. So important for the fullback to have an understanding with his two wings, and considering all the pressure, Laney and Steele and Patterson have done pretty well. But the All Blacks are famous for stepping up another gear in the later stages, and there right away Maxwell did a great leap and catch. And there's Umaga coming in at pace again. Always dangerous, but the Scots did pretty well to get the drive on there, and they stole it. Townsend out. Great kick here, and chased all the way by Patterson. Patterson a bit unfortunate as McDonald managed to wiggle his hips and break the tackle. But back they come for the line out. Listen to the roars.
Good turnover. Gregor gets it wise. A lovely kick by McLaren. Very impressed the way he's played today. And it's a foot trace, Patterson, but it's good scrum half work. Here he comes. Oh no, it's McDonald. I thought it was Robinson. McDonald just gets across, slips out of the tackle. Anyway, will do.
Scots at the line out again. Townsend still. McLaren on the bus, but well thrown down there. Still outside the New Zealand 22. Nicol feeds. The drive on by George Graham, who's a known impact player. Murray took it a bit further. There's a chance here for the Scots as they move it. Townsend going. Townsend almost through. A brilliant tackle by Mark Robinson that time. And here's Lomu away. Lomu flat out. Can anybody stop the big fella? He may have kicked it a little bit too far. Certainly Patterson is back there, and Patterson slips and falls. He turned well, but Lomu, I think, managed to work it, and it's a penalty to New Zealand. It'll be interesting to know what that penalty was for, because the guys seemed to try to get to their feet and didn't play it on the floor. We'll see. It's a crucial penalty because it's right in front of the post.
Oh, this all came about from this break. Gregor just looks and looks, searches for the gap. Good tackle. Watch his steal. Bang. He's in there. That's great play by McCaw. And it's good awareness by McDonald, and just watch this guy go. He is so quick, so powerful. Look at the facial expressions. You know the defence is coming in, and it's a kick through. Patterson just comes back, just about to come into shot. There's chasers coming after him, and that's the way to turn defence into attack. Here Patterson comes into shot from the left-hand side. Loses the ball, and he's got to hold it on the floor, resulted in a penalty which has just been kicked by Mertens.
15 points to 6, New Zealand lead. They've played 21 minutes of the second half, and that is a crucial lead the All Blacks have, and they've made a change in their front row. David Hewitt comes on as a debutant for his very first cap. He takes over from number 1 Greg Feek, and so Hewitt will be on, and a thrill for him. Back there goes Patterson. Leaves it to Laney. Laney a safe touch on halfway. And so now there's no doubt that let's have a word from Graham Thomas again down at pitch side.
Thanks, Bill. Alongside Gordon Simpson. Gordon might prove a costly penalty, but is there still belief out there amongst these Scottish players they can win this game?
Oh, definitely. I mean, out here, so we've obviously got to aim the ball, putting pressure, like we're turning over. Precious. Yeah, there's obviously a lot of belief out there.
Gordon, thanks very much.
Changes galore at the moment. Ben Blair has come on for New Zealand. He'll be wearing number 22. And Graham Burns is on for Scotland. He's taken over at scrum half. There's Umaga, flat out. Umaga with the dummy, chased all the way there by McLaren. Umaga still. And that was a great run by the big fella there.
Here's the crossing, lovely ball. Major to Umaga. Look at the crossing. Ben Blair comes in, takes 2 defenders out. Penalty, good refereeing. But you can't afford to miss tackles. Greg Townsend just missed that little tackle, and just shows how dangerous they all come through.
Umaga there in his 36th international match, and he's 15 stone 12, and he's got that pace, formidable. Now we reckon there's a further change has been made. We'll check it out in a moment or two. Meanwhile, Scotland to Leslie. Leslie tried to hand off his man, but thrown down by Mertens. Now there you see Robinson was battling for the ball, but referee decides that he was holding on to the ball in an illegal manner, and it's a penalty to Scotland, and it's in front of the post as well.
Got to take the points, haven't they, Bill? Just bring Cloyd back, still in the game, and you know, brings them within 1 converted try.
Yes, at 15-6 you go for the point, and it's Chris Patterson once again. He's in his 15th international match, and that's how close it is. Study and concentration, doesn't waste an awful lot of time. Just has a little kick there, and off we go. 2 back. Plonk. Oh! Well, I tell you, that's a rare opportunity missed, and he's absolutely furious with himself. He hooked it. It stays at 15 points to 6. They've played 24 minutes of the second half, and that was a rare chance for Scotland to make inroads.
Yeah, no one of his...
Change of tactic at the restart. Beautifully taken by Maxwell after Mertens had done the little chip kick for a change. And there...
17! Hands off! Hands off!
George Graham's saying there's a guy holding on. He should have been penalised.
What a difference, you know, a couple of seconds. Scotland should have been, you know, back to 6 points. A bad penalty kick there, and you can just see, you know, there a little variation, as you said, from the 22. And look where they are now, a penalty. Now they're attacking in the Scottish 22.
Yes, they'll rue the missed penalty. There's the possession profile, and you can see Scotland have done fairly well, but New Zealand definitely with the advantage there, and it shows at 15-6. Scott Robertson went for it, but Taylor took it. Now it's out to Townsend. Townsend almost through, not quite. Very good tackle there by Richard McCaw, the youngster, the 20-year-old. McLaren tries to hand off his man, still inside Scottish territory. Burns out. That's Laney with the kick. Back there goes Lomu, but he leaves it to Ben Blair. Very nicely away from Leslie. A real chance here as Townsend goes. He's kicked it and he may find quite a good touch, but there was a real chance for handling there. Because the throw-in, of course, goes to New Zealand. 15 points to 6. New Zealand lead. They've played 25 minutes of the second half.
Scotland 82 tackles made, and again it's 30 tackles more. The last quarter of an hour will be crucial. They've just got to keep on going. Good substitutions, keep the momentum going.
Taken by Jack that time. Very good sweep in there and drive by Oliver. And eventually it's Mark Robinson who gets it away. There's a nice bit of work by Patterson. New Zealand 10 metres line. Burns out. Townsend, switch to Leslie. Leslie half through, still guarding the ball. George Graham goes. Nicely fed out there from the hooker and taken on by Townsend. Scots again just unable to get the linkage that they wanted.
I think Townsend is probing, he's having a look, he needs runners. Look at this. Great change of pace. Good tackle by Maxwell. I think he's looking for the impossible ball, isn't he? Just if there's nothing on, just hold it, take it to ground, and just recycle it and go again. They need to keep possession in this part of the field.
No, wait.
Robinson takes the short one. Mertens. Oh, a tremendous burst up the middle of the field. This is by Major. Major with all options on either side of him. Taken there beautifully by Howlett. Howlett still going into Scotland's 22. The All Blacks stepping up the pace just as they did against Ireland. And there, that loose pass was the one that stopped it, but offside. And another simple penalty for New Zealand.
Yeah,
Scott Robertson there.
He'll kick this. Is this a forward pass? Watch this. Feint. That is a forward pass by a mile, isn't it? That is a forward pass, and you know, you've got to pull that. You've got to pull that. This is a very, very close game. The referee of the linesman has got to have a look at that. And this is a difference. One missed penalty, and I can't see Mertens missing this penalty, and they're just pulling away in this match.
5 goals from 5 licks so far, Andrew Mertens. And you feel if he kicks this one, it might shut the door on the Scots unless they can produce something very special. Mertens. Never any doubt. 6 penalty goals for the 28-year-old. It's 18 points to 6 New Zealand lead. And I reckon they've about 11.5 minutes to go. Still super conditions under the floodlights. Hardly any breeze at all. And just the sadness that we haven't had a really classy try, but you never know yet. The All Blacks against Ireland produced some magnificent rugby in the closing quarter of an hour.
There's a lot left in this game, Bill. I'm sure we'll see a try.
Robinson. It's a marvellous effort by Mertens again. And Laney decided to take the throw in, and why not? As long as it goes the 5 metres, but he made a hutch of that one. And, well, no need to tell you how he feels about that.
Yeah, I think he deliberated a little bit whether to take the quick throw in, and that's all he's done now is taking the quick throw in, gone 10 yards, and it's their throw in. But the line has been very productive for Scotland. Not on this occasion.
Scotland have done well at the line-outs really all this autumn. Just knocked forward. Scrimmage will be 10 metres outside Scotland's 22. And it looks as if Scotland have made another change. Andrew Henderson is coming on, and he's a big lad. Gets his third cap today. Got a debut try against Ireland, you remember. And that's the big fella, 6'3", 14.5 stones. He takes over from John Leslie. Here's the pick up in the feed right away. Simon Taylor was the one who did the pick and feed. Burns has a go. George Graham was in the forefront there. But real pressure all the way on the Scots as McLaren off his left foot kicks high. Blair is back there, and that's a huge shoot he's given it. Well taken by Laney. Well, he's found a great touch, and Mertens decides to throw in the fast one. Was it straight enough? There's a great effort here by Major. Lomu going. Lomu still. Steele was back there and helped in the tackle. So did Graham Burns. But New Zealand stepping on the gas here. Umaga all the way. And can anybody catch him? Umaga, this could be the crucial score. And it's a brilliant try. Umaga's 24th try for New Zealand. It's 23 points to 6. They played 31 minutes of the second half. The All Blacks are thrilled, and so are their supporters.
Yes, good angle running by Lomu. One, there he goes, just hits the hole, goes through the tackle. And watch this. He just goes in. And watch the run, and it's the inside ball. That's all it is. Townsend misses the tackle, and that's it.
Indeed a super score, and the conversion a mere formality for
here we go. If we just sold it there.
He pops over his 6th goal. It's 25 points to 6 New Zealand lead, and they've about 8 minutes of the match left.
If you hold it there, look, that's all. It's the inside man there that gets it, and he just goes through. If you run it on, there's no second line of defence, and that's it. It's an easy try, and the game is won.
And while you were away, Scotland almost scored. Andrew Henderson in with it. There's McLaren. Lovely feed out to Burns. Burns. He's a farmer, he's a tough little fellow. George Graham waits as scrum half. Patterson out. The fullback was in the line, Laney. Now it's Taylor who goes in on the tackle. They're still midway between halfway and the All Black 22. Taken very quickly indeed by Laney. Good feed out. Henderson still back inside, but that's where the cover was. Inside the New Zealand 22. Tremendous effort this by the Scots as Townsend goes. Blind pass though. And New Zealand have won it. Robinson got the ball away.
They've got numbers on the left, Bill, here if they use it. Numbers on the left.
And indeed, it was a 3-1 there for a moment. But the Scots were up so very quickly. Some very good work there by Andrew Moore, the open side flank forward. However, Robinson out once again. Mertens feeds. It was big Chris Jack who was there. Then Robertson fed it out again. And eventually Blair it is who gets it well upfield. Hasn't found his touch. Patterson with that little shimmy of his. Now it's Taylor. Simon Taylor. Very good tackle again. That time by Richard McCaw, the 20-year-old. George Graham couldn't quite control it, and in any event, the penalty goes to New Zealand for rounding the wrong side. And here's number 16 for Scotland is Stevie Scott, and he'll be coming on. He'll be coming on as a replacement hooker for his 6th cap, but his first against the All Blacks actually in the second test when Scotland toured there. And Gordon Bullock is going off the field. Seems to have got a bit of a bruise just above his eye there. they've just about 5 minutes of the match left. New Zealand leading 25 points to 6, and having scored the one crucial try, and a beauty it was. Meanwhile, Pablo De Luca, the Argentinian referee, is enjoying himself. Little wink there to his stud judges. That's Stevie Scott, who's played for both Melrose and Gala, and of course now plays for Edinburgh. But there you see Maxwell again, working ball, and you notice how Maxwell, as soon as he fed the ball, he started to donkey his way forward to help the momentum. There's the thrust into the maul that you see. There's the switch, and it was another very good effort by Howlett to try and burst through that time. But once again, body's over, get out of the way, the referee's saying, roll away. Taken quickly by Robinson. Jack went a bit further, deep into Scotland's 22. The All Blacks firing on all cylinders here. That's magnificent work by them. It should really have been a try. Howlett had a rare chance, but the pass wasn't a good one. And the New Zealanders, well, they're completely on top at this stage. Again, offside against the Scots. Crowd don't like it.
But Hewlett blew that, didn't he? He had an overlap, he had a little look first, and then he tried to offload, which didn't work.
Anton Oliver, the New Zealand captain, down there, his father, of course, captain New Zealand as well. Frank, remember the great lock forward he was. Just have a look at this.
Yeah, there we are. Look, we got 3-on-1 there, and he just goes too far. And it's a poor pass. He just had to take, give, and that was it. It was going to be an easy try. Graves did a good job.
So there's Anton Oliver. Remember the great Oliver Hayden partnership in the 70s for the All Blacks boiler house. Frank Oliver, Anton Oliver's father. And Anton Oliver seems fit enough to throw in. This is 38th international match. And you see it's a lovely throw. Couldn't have been better. Taken beautifully by Maxwell. Robinson, is it? And indeed, that is a quite extraordinary score. You'd hardly believe it. Mark Robinson scores a brilliant try in only his second international match. And that really ties it up for New Zealand. 30 points to 6, they lead. No wonder they're congratulating him. And it was a copybook score. Just watch this.
It's great play. That's all it is. They do a back shift and they just exploit the blind side. They're 2 men over. They just try to cover the open side. Eventually gets the ball down, but it was a well-worked try. Well-worked try. Look at this again. They go to the back, looking for the peel. They've got to get, and it's just a change of the attack. And he goes to the blind. It's a superb try.
That's as crafty a move as you'll see anywhere, I tell you what. A scrum half peeling round. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Mertens. Does he ever miss? Tremendous effort by him again. 32 points to 6, New Zealand lead. I reckon they've about a minute of the game to go, plus injury time.
If we run, there you go. If we just run it on here, watch the ploy here. They go to the back of the line out. And what happens? If you hold it there, just watch that guy. He's isolated. And what's going to happen? They're just going to come around here with the overlap. And if you just clear it, watch it. He's exploited the blind side because they all thought they were going to attack the posts.
The Scots have made another change. Ian Fullerton comes on at lock forward for Scott Murray. Ian Fullerton, who gets his 4th cap, but his first 2 against the All Blacks a year or so ago. It'd be a great roar if Scotland could produce a try. Townsend, very nicely from the full-back Laney. But you can see the cover there by the young fellow, Ben Blair of Canterbury, the 22-year-old. He's playing in his first international match, and I mean, what a thrill for him to be playing in a team who are 32-6 ahead.
And when you think of it, you've got Christian Cullen and Jeff Wilson back home, and you've got you know, McDonald coming on and being you know, a star, and now they've got this kid Ben Blair. They're just blessed with world-class full-backs, and as I said, the tackle count has favoured New Zealand. You know, they've made fewer tackles, and as you said, you get tired, and the tries have come in the last 10 minutes.
Townsend feeding on, but the All Black defence in midfield has been so secure. Henderson trying to find a way through, but you notice the ball stolen again. Kick on by Patterson. Patterson was a little bit unlucky in that his run was interrupted. So the referee's given a penalty for a bit of obstruction off the ball.
Yeah, he was impeded as he went for it.
Well, now they're going to try to have the kick at goal, I think, or are they? No, they're not. They're going to kick for the corner. Now, I suppose Scotland do have the throw-in, Jonathan, and they'd expect to win it. But why did they not tap and go?
Well, I think, you know, the line has gone exceptionally well for them on their own throw-in. That was the infringement, I think it was Anton Oliver just went for him, just picking up the strike.
Great jump by Taylor. That's a lovely thrust up the front of the line out by Grimes. A real chance here, and the ball was too low for Townsend. It'll be a scrimmage. But that was a very nice line-out move by the Scots. There's no doubt that Scotland at the line-out have impressed in this autumn series.
Yeah, here's the line-out. Goes up, and again they just attack. They change the point of attack. Taylor goes in. That's a good tackle, good drive. Expect a lot of things of Taylor when he's fit, but unfortunately not the greatest of passes by Burns, and it's a knock-on.
And it's great to see the line-out being peeled again, the way the French did away back in the 50s under Lucien Meus. Nonetheless, oh, that was a brilliant bit of work by Major. Tremendous running there by Howlett. And look at this, what a run this is by... In fact, it's the youngster McCaw. And there, the Scots are back. Umanga throws it out, and Lomu goes sauntering home. Jonah Lomu for his 39th try for New Zealand, and that really ties it up with them. The New Zealand supporters are absolutely thrilled. Jonah Lomu smiles as well he should. 37 points to 6, New Zealand lead. And I tell you what, it was a great score.
Watch this pass. I've been very impressed. You know, this Major comes in and just pops the ball and Howlett. Sam's experience, give and take, and he's got a long way to go, hasn't he, Macau? But the supporters come in, and this is what they do. They don't panic. They get the ball. There's Blair there. He hits the floor. A bit fortunate. Umanga, as he goes down, one-handed pass, and there's no one in front of him. And it wouldn't have mattered if there was anyone in front of him. They wouldn't have stopped him from there.
You won't see anything much better than that in rugby during this coming season, as Mertens tries to knock it over for goodness knows how many times he's done it. But New Zealand have won a handsome victory by 37 points to 6. They've scored 3 brilliant tries through Umanga, Robinson and Lomu, and Mertens has done the rest with 22 points. The audience are rising to the All Blacks. All round the ground there are people on their feet. Just listen to this applause.
Well-deserved applause. You know, a lot of Kiwis here, and I just feel again there's a lot of tackles made in that half, and as we all know, the game is played 80 minutes, isn't it? And the try scored in the last 10 minutes. You just work, make the tackles, and if you slip off tackles in the last 5 or 10 minutes, you get punished. You know, this exceptionally skillful All Black side, very young, transitional period for them. They'll be happy with their performances against Ireland and against Scotland, and I think these will grow and grow as a unit and get better and better. Tremendous performance by Scotland. I thought they've improved 100% from previous autumn tests, but it just shows the gap is still wide. But good performance by Scotland, superb performance by New Zealand.
And New Zealand have played 4-1-4 on this tour. They've scored 17 tries to 6, and they've won today by stepping up the pace with a victory margin of 37 points to 6. And also there will be a presentation to the winning captain, Tom Smith, there, who captained Scotland for the 3rd time. And you can see the effect of taking on the All Blacks for 80 minutes of furious action. And the crowd have gathered round here to acclaim the All Blacks, who, as I say, especially in the last 20 minutes or so, stepped up the pace and put together some magnificent rugby. Wonderful support work by them. And, of course, brilliant at moving ball out of the tackle. And with the physical presence, of course, alongside the pace, Jonathan, that makes them especially formidable.
They've got great pace in the back three, you know. Howlett, McDonald, Blair, Lomu. But the one I was most impressed with today was Aaron Major. I think, you know, they've lacked a very creative second 5'8". Maybe since the times of Little and Warwick Taylor. And this guy, I think, has fitted the bill for them. He's very creative, and it just brings the best out of these tremendous runners.
And it's a wonderful reaction from the Murrayfield crowd, who have appreciated the fact that the All Blacks have played some magnificent rugby. And there the trophy being presented by Graham Pottinger, who's the chief executive of Scottish Mutual, presented to Anton Oliver, the 38 times captain of New Zealand. And nobody here would have any complaints about that. New Zealand thoroughly deserving winners by 37 points to 6.
So in the context of a pretty formidable win, the scoreline, I think we have to temper it with the fact, Earl Curtin, that at times this was an All Black team that didn't play well against an average opposition. Is that fair?
I wouldn't call it average opposition in the sense. I thought it was outstanding defence in that they whacked into every tackle they made and drove New Zealanders back. And I haven't seen that. That hasn't happened. I don't think even the Australians or the South Africans put in as many tackles as the Scots did tonight. So that created pressure. Pressure creates mistakes, and they drove the All Blacks almost down the alley where they were firing the ball around willy-nilly. 50-50s, gained of ground, and it was very, very difficult to play against. And I still don't think they got back and stood deep enough to come forward. They still were far too flat, I felt. But at the end of the day, those 3 inside balls created the 2 opportunities in the last 10 minutes when we find these Northern Hemisphere sides fade a wee bit, perhaps not quite as fit or as sharp after a Super 12 season like we've been, that is the All Blacks. And so I feel that they, they fell off just slightly. But a tremendous effort. Score was nowhere near a reflection of the game. The only guys that'll be upset are the TAB boys, because everyone had them for 13 plus. They scored all their tries in the last few moments.
Murray, some positives and some negatives.
Yeah, absolutely. And the negatives, I was disappointed that the All Black forwards, after their, just prior to half-time, they had some great pick and goes. They were laying some good platform ball for the backs to run on, etc., etc. But then after half-time, they went back to just, regardless of what was happening on the field, get the ball out wide, let the backs do all the work, which took a long time to bear any fruit. And it took 66 minutes for the first try to come, and as we suspected, that's when the Scottish really started to fold after that. But also the Scots defended very well. I thought the New Zealand defence was also up to it today. Yeah. No missed tackles at all.
That's good.
Yeah, it was a good effort, and you know, let's play 37 points to 6 win over Scotland at home. It's you know, that's something to savour.
Yes, it certainly was. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll wrap it all up from Murrayfield.